Hello and welcome to my channel. I'm Angela Brennan and today I'm bringing you my final video for the Clubkits of September 2025. It's the stencil of the month, Acorns and Oaks. It's a very simple stencil to follow, and with all their stencils they tend to have them numbered, which is again makes the whole process really easy. There are 5 stencils here, and per usual I do use some of the stencils with some Glimmer paste and Luna paste. I learned something new here today. Well, I should have known, but here you go. I tend to use my stencils in the corner of my Misty. I've got a sticky mat there and it holds the card very well, and it also holds the stencil in place with the magnet. So it's quite easy to do from that perspective. I start off using my crisp dye inks, and I've got a small blending brush from Tonic, and I just apply one color first, and then I go ahead using a smaller blending brush, which is a mini blending brush from Tonic again, and I'm putting a darker color. I like to do that, especially with larger spaces like the one shown here. You can put some shadow quite easily, or you can even use an even smaller brush like a detail blending brush. So having few sizes of blending brushes comes in really handy because it allows you to give it more detail. Here I'm adding some dark blue because I think putting the blue against the green gives it a nice darker shade. All of these crisp dye inks, they do lighten when they dry, which is why I want to put a little bit of a darker shade and give it that clarity or that differentiation as it dries. And there you go, that bit done. For the next one, I'm going to use the Luna paste from Simon Hurley called the Fake Plant. Remember, these Luna pastes and all, once you use it on your stencil, you need to wash it really quickly. You don't want it to dry or harden, and it might ruin your stencil. So once I'm done with it, I do wash my stencil, or you can soak it in some warm water or soapy water next to your craft space. Whatever balance, remember, put it back into your container because you don't need that much. So you can just put it nice and neat, and you can leave it to dry. I tend to leave it to dry for at least an hour, just to be on the safe side, but it's a very thin layer. It's probably dried before an hour, but to be safe, leave it for an hour. But it takes a little bit more time when you put these kind of pastes in between, because you need to give it the time to dry before you can do the next layer. So just leave it aside, and I continue on with the next stencil. How lovely, you can see the shine. I love using pastes in between when I'm stenciling. Now the next one here, I've used the slippery when wet one, a orangey one, but I've got the background on a light blue card. So again, I leave it to dry. Now that this is dried, and this is the lesson I've learned, I'm going to tell everybody. Now I'm going to put another layer of Luna paste here, and I decide to go with an orange one rather than the green one. So I do use the slippery when wet, and I thought putting a different color will be more interesting. And they're all kind of autumnal colors, not exactly the right shade, but you know, it is kind of goes with the theme, I think. So I put it. Now when the stencil goes on it, because the other layer of Luna paste is there, it's not as flat against the card as it can be, so it does get a little bit smooshed. So that's the lesson. 2 layers, not so great. If you're using a paste like this, use it on the final layer and use 1 layer. So I did try again. I must say I was stubbornly trying to see whether that was the case. So I did try again, and again I got the same result. So that's when I decided to accept the fact that having 2 layers, separate layers, is not going to work because it will seep through the stencil. But I still use the panel. You'll see me do that later on. Here I've done all in 1 layer of ink, and for the final layer I'm using the darker gold one. I can't remember what it's called, but it's a Luna paste as well. It's slippery when wet. Oh, this is slippery when wet. The other one must have been called something else, but I put all the details in the description below and you can check it out. So here I used the final layer of the Luna paste. After this I won't put any more layers because I've done all the other layers with inks. So there you go. That's one way to make sure you don't ruin it. It's such a shame when you do all and then you do the Luna paste and then you realize you've smushed it a bit, so it's not great. So this looks really nice. I really like how these colors came out. It's so pretty. Here I've done quite a few different shades of orange and yellow. And this is the dried one where I did earlier, and you can see it's smushed in the middle a little bit. There you go. I've done it twice just to prove to myself how wrong it can go. But, you know, live and learn. And this final one here, because I've already learned my lesson and I decided to do this layer here, I just use inks. I don't use any more paste. So I just decided, though I've already done one of the layers in of those little leaf veins in Lunar paste, I decided I can just use this to do inks. So once you've put the Lunar paste, to use another layer and do inks, it's okay. It doesn't smudge. But if you put another layer of paste, it's not great because it's not flat enough on the paper or on the card. So live and learn. So for this kind of areas here, I decided to cover off some of that where the nuts are because I want to use a different color. So I'm just putting greens only on the veins of the leaves, and I use tiny bits of post-its here and there to cover it all because I didn't want those little nuts to be or acorns rather than nuts and to be in the same color. So I'm using a detail brush and putting some orange here and end up putting another darker orange to give it a bit more shading as well. So, you know, that's why I say having a few different sizes of blending brushes really helps to give you a bit more definition or a bit more layers of shadows in your stenciled areas. So you can see where it's going to be quite tiny and you want to just add a little bit of color here. So it's okay to add different colors on the same stencil, but you just need to know how to protect the other bits by just covering it. And here what I'm going to do for the final layer, I'm going to use a darker, even darker orange that looks more like a red, more of a dark mahogany red. And there you go. I pretty much done with this. So you can do different colors if you want. You'll see one of the stencils I do that I've done more of an aquamarine color, and there you go. I've used the final layer, I've used a shiny paste. And here are all the stencils I've done, and next step is to just convert them into cards. I've just put them into A6 cards, but here I've done this one here to show you I'm not wasting that. So I still put it on the card, and then I cut a smaller rectangle, and I've got the sentiment here that I have stamped already from the clear stamp of the month, and I've got all those die cuts from the large die of the month, the small die of the month, one of the dies, and I've put that little squirrel. I told you I'll use the squirrel again because I truly adore it. Check out another video of mine where I show you how I put this together. Now the squirrels are facing each other. There's only one die set, but what I've done is I've die cut it and just turned it around. So you can see, look, the squirrels look like they're looking at each other. So you can use your die sets in different ways. So this is me keeping the colors of the foliage all the same color because I don't want to detract too much from the background because I do want the stencil to stand out, and I just put the squirrel die cuts in there. I've got other videos in the Spellbinders Club Kits of September 25 that I've done in my description below. So check it out and you'll see how I've put all that die sets together. And this is the one I did with that shiny final layer of the Glimmer paste. And you've got the other cards I've done here. And all of the sentiments of these cards come from the clear stamp for the month and the coordinating dies. I like it when sentiments come with coordinating dies so I can die cut some additional layers and stack them up. So I've added a little bit of die cuts against some of these, and all of them are either from the small die of the month or the large die of the month. And here are the close-up pictures of all the cards that I've created. And do check out the other videos within the Spellbinders September 2025 videos that I've done. I think I've done all in 5 videos to cover all the various club kits, and I do use the club kits together quite a bit because they're all from the same theme. Happy crafting, and I'll catch you in the next video. Take care and have fun crafting.